Welcome to the political segment of the weekend show. We've dedicated this segment to setting an agenda for the next 4 years on priorities which we believe the Nigerian government should listen to Nigerians' opinion on how to fix the situations in Nigeria. And today we will be discussing the security situation in Nigeria and setting the agenda for the next 4 years. Security in some quarters has been said to be at an all-time low in Nigeria. Nigeria is currently facing serious internal security challenges, the most serious ones ranging from Boko Haram terrorists to herdsmen, war on farmers, kidnapping, armed banditry, ethnic cleansing, SARS harassment, Niger Delta crisis, unemployment, poor border control, poverty, and imbalance in development. These threats are increasing on different forms by the day, and yet there are no visible solutions to them. On this edition of the Weekend Show, we will be discussing with three security experts and people from different fields actually on their evaluation of the security situation in Nigeria and where we hope to go from here from now till the next 4 years. With me in the studio, I have someone who I call Sister Sally, but she is Reverend Barrister Sally Williams Chinebu. She is a philanthropist and co-founder of Friends of Muhammadu Buhari. Good morning, Ma.
Good morning to you. Good morning, Nigerians.
Show.
Thank you.
Also with us in the studio, we have a public affairs analyst and security expert. He is Mr. Kuanum Terrence. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the Weekend Show.
Thanks for having me.
We also have with us the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Widened International Limited, Dodeye Arikpo, who is also a security consultant. Good morning and welcome.
Thank you very much.
Going straight into it, and we'll start from you, Dodeye. What is your evaluation of the security sector or scene in Nigeria coming from the last 4 years till date?
I must confess, I'm a Nigerian, so if you look at it, you can say, yes, there have been some progress, but I'm not sure it's up to what we would expect. On a daily basis, you're having issues of security now coming up. And so people are basically discussing security all the time. And I feel that it's what is, what you call, something that the government is going to be judged by. And so if you say in the last 4 years, and if this government is to be judged by what has happened security-wise, I'm not sure everybody is going to agree whether they've done too well. In some areas, I mean, you can't be totally critical of government, so you can't say you are going to leave everything in government's hands. We also have issues with us as a people, because I feel that, truly speaking, we've not been able to imbibe that culture that looks out for each other, because it helps. I mean, if I'm going to be seeing a suspicious movement and I can't warn my neighbor to say, come, you know, and you are living in an estate and you see somebody walk into that estate, somebody you don't even know, somebody you can't even recognize, and probably jumping into your neighbor's compound. I'm telling you, the average Nigerian is just going to lock himself or herself inside the house and not even notify the neighbor. So it's something that, for me, it's something that goes both ways.
So if you had to rate on a scale of 1 to 10?
How we've fared
yes.
security-wise? 4 over 10. I know I may be a bit hard on my rating, but it's 4 over 10.
No, I mean, it's your opinion. And yeah. Barrister Sally, I see you want to say something. But before you do, let's go back to the fact that President Muhammadu Buhari, your good friend,
my president,
our president.
Okay,
exactly. But since you're the founder of Friends of Muhammadu Buhari, one of his priorities when he came into office in 2015 was security. How do you objectively feel we have fared in the last 4 years?
Rating my president, the President of Federal Republic of Nigeria, I would not rate him anything below 7% over 10. The reason is because 2009, you agree with me that minimum 14 local governments were seized by Boko Haram. Today, not one single is on record. Not one single. I am not saying that we are perfect. I'm not saying that we've done well. But I believe that my party, APC, or Progressive Congress, and my president, been able to tackle security reasonably. But like my brother just said, security should be every person's problem. It's been said in several quarters, and everybody talk about it. Security should be your problem, it should be my problem. Let me give you a little example of what I do in my own little way. If I enter a vehicle, if I enter my car, I will even slap, well, let me not use that word, I think it's bad. I always have issues with my driver. He should immediately lock the car. Nigerians appear to be unnecessarily careless. Little things we should do to even protect ourselves. We do not do it. We do not do it at all. President Buhari has not said that within a twinkle of an eye he's going to wipe off security system in Nigeria. And no government will do it. But let us put it on record that today is better than yesterday. And because today is better than yesterday, tomorrow is going to be better. He said it recently that security and corruption is his major issue that he must tackle. And he's going to tackle it. He's not working the way, or things are not happening the way we expect it to happen, because Nigeria is a country where, oh, bandwagons, we must shout it. It has to be na. No. It's security now. It's security. Recently, he ordered the IGP fly in here, fly in there, and they're doing quite a lot.
But even with that, because we've also heard, for instance, with the case in Benue, where it was reported that some of the top brass in the police force were sent to Benue, and they pretty much went there for one day and left. It goes beyond playing to the audience of saying, oh, we showed up and we disappear, and actually staying there to ensure work is done, like it was done with the military chiefs where they were sent to the Northeast. But Terrence, in the last, say, 20 years, during the time of President Obasanjo, we had militancy and the Niger Delta situation. During the time of Goodluck Jonathan, we had Boko Haram issues. The time of President Muhammad Buhari, we've seen increased communal clashes and headsmen issues. So with every government, there's one problem or the other. Do you think politics plays a role in affecting the security situation in the country?
No, of course. Politics is a major bane of security issues in this country. But the situation we have gotten in at the moment is quite sad. What is uniting us in this country today is fear. Everybody in this country is afraid. Nigeria has come to a comatose where no highway is safe, where no reasonable solution to security issues are being offered by the government, by security chiefs. Is it in Zamfara? Is it with Boko Haram? Is it with Benue? Is it with Anambra? Is it Abuja-Kaduna Highway? Where are we safe? So what is uniting the 200 million people in this federation is fear. Now, how are we going about it? We are living in a country where, with the smell of a military armpit, you are being kidnapped. A village is being ravished. Communities are being overrun. Nothing is being done. When you ask the military personnel, you ask the police officers, they are waiting for directives from the commander or from the commissioner of police, which never comes. So what is the way forward? The way forward is simply the president himself, with the experience from the military background and with the operation he carried out when he was the Northeast governor and Cameroon tried to overrun our borders. The commander had to call him when he was just 14 kilometers to Yaoundé. Where has the spirit gone to? That today, a country he's presiding over is unsafe. Go to Idu train station. People come with their sirens to board trains to Kaduna. With security personnel, they can't ply a 160-kilometer road. It's a very sad situation that Nigeria has fallen themselves in. So we should critically be able to look at how we are going to rejig our security situations and then rate it, even if it is with figures. Because like Madam has said here, that 14 local governments has been retrieved back from Boko Haram in the Northeast. But there is a minus in Kaduna South. There is a minus in Benue. There is a minus in Kajuru. There is a minus in Anambra. There is a minus in Ondo. So plus 2 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1, what will you get?
So we still
so
have
at the end of the day, we are where we started and worse.
No.
Now we live in a country
yes.
where 2 of these groups have been declared by the Global Terrorism Index as terrorists. We have accepted Boko Haram. The Nigerian state is refusing to accept that the Fulani herdsmen, who has been rated as by Global Terrorism Index as a terrorist group, so that if we give them the treatment you gave in Northeast, there can be peace within the Middle Belt. But we have refused. Who are bandits? How can you call the situation going on in Zamfara as bandits? Those are terrorists. Those are terrorist operations.
Okay, we'll come back to that, Terrence. But Reverend Barrister Sally, you rated the president, say, 7 out of 10 based on his security priorities.
Achievement.
Or achievement. However, we've seen unemployment rise to about 20% and increased numbers of people out of school. But unemployment plays a major role in keeping young people less busy. Do you feel that solving that issue would reduce some of the security challenges we are facing? And I know you would mention Empower 500,000 graduates, but going beyond that, when you see the numbers of people losing their jobs on a yearly basis, how do we put the security challenges together?
Let me pause you, my dear brother. I think when you talk about unemployment, the bitter truth is that we keep on looking at white-collar jobs.
Not necessarily.
But that is what we're talking about, white-collar jobs. As a young girl growing up, I never trouble myself with white-collar jobs. I believe that we have to come to a situation where we must be realistic and look inward. What can I do to be employed? I, as a person, what can I do to be employed? So do you. So do a other person and be other person. Unemployment, you already mentioned it. There are several Nigerians. Watch the television, read the newspaper. There are so many young youth that are employed, self-employed. A lot of them are achieving a lot of money. Let me again say this to you. Yes, just yesterday, I was in a bank, and a lady just approached me because I wore a dress that has a shoe and a bag and the same material, made in Aba. In fact, it's what I wanted to wear this morning. Aba made by a young man. And this lady said to me, my daughter, I just been admiring you. My daughter is making this kind of stuff, but she doesn't have a bag, but she has a shoe. Can I take your picture? A young graduate, she told that to me. Is she unemployed? No. The answer is capital no. She's not unemployment. Now we're talking about security. I agree 100% that we are not there yet. But I want to encourage Nigerians without going further that even if you leave a henchman today, tomorrow, 2 years back, I said it immediately after our next meeting in APC. I said this issue of Boko Haram today is henchmen. I don't know what name they are going to call them tomorrow.
But do you feel, but back to the question, do you feel that unemployment plays a role in
unemployment plays a role when there is lack in the society. That is unemployment. But all I'm saying is that even as much as we are talking about unemployment, can we start thinking of what we can do as citizens of Nigeria? Can we start thinking of how we can build ourselves up? Because when you begin to be yourself and I begin to be myself, there will be no unemployment. If we say we are 200 million people and we have minimum 40 million people self-employed, there cannot be unemployment. But the issue is that minimum in fact, eventually every Nigerian, except a few that are employed, are looking for job, white-collar job. If I go through my documents, my files, I have over 1,000 persons giving me applications, but you go and pick them to come and begin to do some little job. They are not interested. Everybody is looking for a job that will pay them 200,000, 500,000 naira. It's not going to be easy. The government cannot provide everything at the same time. We are talking about Benue. I agree the issue of Benue, for me, is a very bad one. I never agree with it. What is going on Kaduna, on Kaduna Road, I suppose I traveled to Kaduna 2 days ago. I got scared. It's also not proper. But at the same time, we are fighting here, we are fighting here, we are fighting here. But I know that if we are patient, we are going to get there.
Okay, speaking to solutions, SARS, young people in Nigeria, like Terrence has said, we are scared. A young person can be harassed for having a good phone. Most young people cannot leave their houses without being scared of being arrested or being attacked. then kidnapping also. We can't travel from Abuja to Kaduna without being scared. And so you go to the train stations, you see massive queues because people want a safer option. What do you think, especially the Nigerian police force, because we've been talking about reforming the Nigerian police force, what do you think can and should be done to improve the situation, one with SARS, and to curtail the increased rate of kidnapping in Nigeria?
Training. And it's training, training. For me, it's training. You don't, I'm sure that the average police officer, after finishing police school, police college, maybe hardly goes through any other kind of training. It's like the issue of kidnapping. It's a specialized training that you're going to need to handle kidnappers. It's not because you're a police officer or because you're carrying a gun. It simply means you can arrest a kidnapper, or you know the techniques or the modus operandi of how kidnappers operate. So it's for us to key into training, because if you bring somebody from probably, let me say, my village, and take him to the police college and train him probably for 6 months, do you actually change his orientation about certain things? Yes, he's a police officer, he's wearing a uniform. That orientation, the village orientation he brought into the police, is not going to leave him in 6 months. So you have to constantly train this man. You are a servant of the people. You are here to protect the people, not to harass them. And this is the way for you to protect people, for them to have confidence in you. I'm not sure that the average Nigerian has any confidence in the police anymore, because for them, once you see a police officer, you're going to say, what is it now? Even when you know you have your license, you have your car papers, but the sight of a police officer, which should give you some comfort, rather brings trepidation on you, because you're going to be saying, I have to be careful before this man shoots and kills me, because you've heard such stories. So the thing is, I think that a lot of training needs to go, a reorientation in the service. So when we keep talking about reform, reform doesn't come by just addressing police officers, every new IGP coming to address police officers, this is the way we are going to do it this time. Put these guys in a classroom, put them through some processes, and just make them...
Quick final note from you. Don't you think there's also a leadership problem? Because for a country where we are big on deterrence, most of these police officers, when they are found guilty of certain crimes, it's dealt with internally. And so we don't really know what happens at the end of the day. We've not seen any service chief being punished for not respecting a particular order or not handling his or her duty post properly. Don't you think leadership in those sectors, and this goes beyond just the president now, parastatals and those heads, don't you feel they should also be held responsible? In 30 seconds. There's
clearly a leadership problem in Nigeria, so it's not something we need to talk about. So and it goes across board. So really, yes, I agree with you. There's a leadership problem, so there should be consequences for people who fail as leaders if they have people under them who mess up. So the IG cannot be totally exonerated when policemen behave in ways they're not supposed to behave. So whether you like it or not, we need to start from the top and try and clean out our house. So I agree with you.
Okay, Mr. Terrence.
Yeah.
Speak to that and to solutions. So let's speak to solutions. What do you think Nigerians and the presidency,
I think going beyond
the government should do? Yes.
It boils down to the commander-in-chief. If I appoint you an IG and give you a marching order that you can't secure this country, I'll fire you. It will go down to the DPOs that I'm giving you a DPO of this community, and if you can't secure it, this is what will happen to you. Now, by the time this marching orders gets to the grassroots, by the DPO, you see that we can be able to curtail some security situations, because that is where they start. These communities know their members, and if the DPO is working with the traditional rulers and members of the community, they cannot be infiltrated. They know the histories of this place. But the laxity in these institutions is what is causing us what we are today. They don't really care who, let me tell you, from the history books that we've read, people used to cry when they are posted to go and guide VIPs. But today they lobby for it. It means they don't even want to do the work. Now the people who are guiding the VIPs how secure are even the VIPs? Because they are more interested in harassing the politicians.
So you think it's a leadership?
Let these boys leave the people they are harassing in the villages and engage one of these VIPs one day. You discover that this guy that have no rifle history will be wiped out and the VIPs will be taken off. So we are in a very serious situation that if we are not careful, this thing will get to the VIPs.
So
because they are being guided by people who have no rifle history, but either members of their communities. Once they become governor, senator, they look for people in their community. They don't even look for people who are capable of guiding people of their status.
So in one sentence, what
now
should
we need
be
to,
the way forward?
this commander-in-chief, it is the president, needs to have security chiefs who have a mandate that he has given them to secure this country. They will be able to do this down the line, and this country will be secured. The laxity in this institution is too much, and it's caused by him.
Thank you, Terrence. Barrister, on the final note, so an important issue because you are part of the ruling party, the headsmen, the banditry and the kidnapping, what do you advise this administration to do in the next 4 years to fix this?
Definitely within the next 1 year, I believe that Mr. President is going to do far more than he did in the past 3 years plus, almost 4 years. There will be a drastic change. There will be a drastic work. There will be full swing of check on police system and the security system. But I also want to say that the biggest problem in Nigeria is that we never cease to complain on issues that are being handled. Yet we read the newspaper 247, yet we watch television 247. We don't just believe that enough is being done. If we start taking it that enough, reasonably, things are being done, then we'll have less problem. And all of us will be way focused and in achieving a proper result. I know that SARS was established for a purpose. And what is the major reason of SARS is armed robbery. And unfortunately, some of them, like he said, are not properly trained. Give them proper training so that at the end of the day, they will not see a young man on the street with a phone, and because the phone is 100,000 naira, it could also be a stolen phone. Let us be honest. There are some phones that a lot of them are they're still left, right, and center, but they are doing their duty.
The way they handle it.
Yeah, the way they handle it is wrong.
Yes.
So training and retraining is the issue. It must be done. And again, President has said that his major issue today is going to be corruption and the security. There will be a new methodology of fighting security system in this country. And I'm not speaking for myself, I'm speaking for my president.
Thank
because
you
I know
very
he will
much,
do
Barrister Sadi.
Thank
There
you.
you've had it. You've listened to our guests on the weekend show on the political segment. We will make it our duty to hold government accountable and responsible in the next 4 years. And so we've spoken about security today. A lot of talk has been, emphasis has been made on training and retraining, and also government taking responsibility. So it's up to us to hold government accountable and see how we proceed in the next 4 years. Thank you to our guests for joining us on the political segment of the weekend show.
Thank you.
And up next, we'll have spots for you.